All right, welcome to today's class on the Scott Leroy Marketing Services for Leadership. So I'm going to take you through today's class and talk about the best way and the best practices that we have found in order to get your agents all onboarded and set up with us, and how to best utilize our services that we provide to help with your onboarding practices and help it make a smooth transition for your agents coming into KW, and all the support items we have for your agents to utilize. Now, the first thing that I'm going to talk about, so I'm going to start at the beginning of the process, beginning of the onboarding process, and talk about getting your agents' usernames and passwords over to us. Now, a lot of times, the biggest delay that we see in getting your agents onboarded is because the agents don't provide the username and password on their questionnaire. A lot of the agents actually think that we set up their username and password, so they're not even clear. Oh, yep, 1 second here. Let me unlock this meeting. All right, great. So again, like I was saying, the biggest delay that we see is that the username and password is not included on the agent's questionnaire that's sent over to us. And a lot of times agents don't even know that they need to provide that. So of course, as you know, when you put your agents in the system, when you put them into Winmore, it automatically generates their username and passwords and sends it over to that MCA email address that you all have, that KLRW, your market center number, @kw.com. So what I'm going to start with in today's class is a pretty cool tip. I'm going to show you how to set up your KLRW email address to make it so that every time that you receive that new associate email, including your agent's username and password for MyKW, I'm going to show you how you can make that just forward straight on over to us. So you don't even have to worry about manually forwarding that over. Your email account will do that for you. So it's a pretty cool tip. I would highly recommend it. A lot of MCAs do utilize this, and it does expedite the process of setting your agents up. So to get started on that, you would actually have to log into your KLRW email address on your Gmail account. So on gmail.com, you would need to log into KLRW, your market center number, @kw.com. So feel free to go ahead and do that if you'd like to do this with me. And from here, the first thing that we're going to do is click on the settings gear on the top right of your email account. Right, so we're selecting that settings gear on the top right there. And let's go to settings from that drop down. All right, from there, we're going to go ahead and click on forwarding and pop/IMAP on the top blue toolbar. I'm going to go ahead and remove this forwarding so I can show you guys from the beginning here. All right, and if anyone was logging into their Gmail account and missed those steps to get to where I am, I'll quickly show you that again. So the first thing that you're going to do is log into your KLRW email address on gmail.com. We'll select the settings gear on the top right, and then settings from that drop down. And then final step here is we are selecting forwarding and pop/IMAP on that top blue toolbar. And guys, just a heads up, if I lose anyone or you want to see something again, feel free to let me know, and I'm happy to show you that again or catch you up on today's class. No problem at all. So in this top section here where it says forwarding, we're actually going to click add a forwarding address. Okay, so where it says add a forwarding address, go ahead and select that. And let's type in support@scottleroymarketing.com. And just a heads up, we will not be forwarding all of your mail over to our email account. I'm just simply going to show you how to only forward over those new associate emails that you receive so that we can get your agent set up in a quicker manner. So again, we're clicking add a forwarding address and typing in support@scottleroy, Leroy, marketing.com. And let's select Next. From there, we'll give you a heads up. A little pop-up will appear to let you know that you're going to forward mail to support@scottleroymarketing.com. And so for now, we can click Proceed. All right, it lets you know that you've added a forwarding address and that you've added the forwarding address of the support email address. I can click OK. So that's all good to go. Now, as you can see, it defaults on disabling the forwarding, and that's good. We want to leave that as disabled, right? We don't want all your emails to forward over to us. All right, so we're going to leave this as disable forwarding. Okay, so now the next step of what you'll need to do, if you don't mind clicking this little drop-down arrow on this top search bar. So you'll see a search bar at the top of your Gmail account. And we'll want to click that little drop-down arrow to the far right. And that will display this drop-down box here. Now in the From field, we're going to type in the address newassociate@kw.com. Again, make sure that's in the From field, is newassociate@kw.com. So that's where the system sends your agent's default username and passwords right off the bat on over to your email address. That comes from newassociate@kw.com. And from here, we're going to click Create Filter with this search. All right, so that's that blue link on the bottom right of this search box here. Create Filter with this search. And what we're going to do is click the checkbox to the left of Forward It To. So that's about halfway down your list here. We're clicking the checkbox to the left of Forward It To. And you'll see this drop down that says Choose an Address. So we'll click Choose an Address, and you should see that support email address for Scott Leroy Marketing pop right up. So I can select that. Right, so I selected this gray box right here to select the support@scottleroymarketing.com. And all you need to do is click Create Filter. It'll give you this yellow bar that says your filter was created to confirm that's completed. So now in the future, every time you receive an agent's login from the One More system, it'll automatically forward it over to us. So we can make sure we can get your agents all set up as fast as possible. So really great tip there to help with the efficiency of the process. If you have any trouble with it at all, feel free to email us at support@scottleroymarketing.com, and I'm happy to write out instructions on how to do this if you prefer notes, or we can even do it for you. So whichever you prefer, we're happy to help out with that. All right, so that is the first step in the process, is getting us your agent's username and password. Now, while we're on the topic of that, of course, that only applies to new agents with KW, right? So when you put your agents in One More, if they're a new agent, you receive their MyKW default username and password sent over. If they are a transfer agent, so if they're transferring from another office, another KW office to your office, or if they are returning, so if they were with KW previously, even if it was a few years ago, you will not receive that username and password from the One More system. If that is the case, of course, ask your agent if they know their username and password. Most of the time they don't, because there's so many passwords for everything. I get it. So if that is the case, if your agent does not know their username and password and they are a transfer agent or they are returning to KW, feel free to look at what their username is in the white pages. So from an admin MyKW account, you of course can see their username in the white pages. So feel free to send us over what their username is. So you would send that to support@scottleroymarketing.com, and we can send over a password reset link over to your KLRW email address to get the password reset and go ahead and proceed with the onboarding. But again, yep, that's the biggest delay for setups is just getting that username and password. So hopefully we're feeling a little more comfortable with that. If not, if you have any questions at all, please let me know or feel free to email support@scottleroymarketing.com. So now what we're going to do, and the next step in today's class, is we're actually going to go over to scottleroymarketing.com, so our website. So again, that was scottleroymarketing.com. You'll see that at the top of my computer here. I'll go ahead and send that out if anyone just wants to click on it from the menu here, from the chat window rather. If you want to just click on that, that is our website. And when going to our website, you'll want to scroll down. I'm going to go ahead and log out so I can show you guys how to log in real quick here. So 1 second here. When going to our website, you'll want to scroll down to this white toolbar that you see. So there is a big image on the top, but scroll down slightly to the KW Resources tab on our menu. All right, so as you're directing agents and as you're exploring our tools on our site, this KW Resources tab is really your best friend. So this is where you'll really want to stick on our site. We try to centralize everything for you. And let's talk about the next step in the process, which is getting your agents to fill out a questionnaire. So if you go to KW Resources, Questionnaires, from that drop-down, and then we're actually going to click on Questionnaires that pops out from there. So you'll see another flyout window, and you actually want to click on Questionnaires from that flyout menu. So again, we're hovering over KW Questionnaires, hovering over the next Questionnaires option, KW Resources, hovering over the next Questionnaires option, and then actually go ahead and click on where it says Questionnaires from that flyout menu. And when you do so, it should take you over to log into our site. Now your login for our site is your Market Center number. So all you need to do is type in your Market Center number. To access everything on our site right away. That's the same password that your agents will use as well on our site, is just the Market Center number there. Of course, you can click Remember Me, that checkbox there, so you don't have to type that in anymore, and click Login. And that will take you over to all the different questionnaires that we have. Now we do need your agents to fill out a questionnaire, and these questionnaires, just a heads up, are completely customizable to your Market Center. So if you find that on the questionnaire you'd like an extra question added or something changed, feel free to let us know and we can definitely make those adjustments to customize the questionnaire for your Market Center specifically. Now we do need your agent to fill out the questionnaire, and some Market Centers will have the staff fill out the questionnaire. So if you want your agent services coordinator to fill that out on behalf of the agent, or if you want your agent to do that themselves. What a lot of Market Centers do is when they send us the MyKW username and password for the agent, they'll also send over the agent's personal email address. And then what we do is we turn around and we send out the questionnaire to that agent's personal email address, and we copy you in on it. And so we contact your agent for you to prompt them to fill out the questionnaire. So that's one option that does tend to work really well. And as we're on the topic of questionnaires, let's go over the different ones that we have available to your agents. So the setup questionnaire here, that is the most popularly used questionnaire. Right? So general, normal MyKW setup questionnaire. We do have a short form setup that's a little less in depth, so it doesn't prompt for things like a bio or social media. So we do a more generic setup for the short form setup if your agent just wants to get set up as fast as possible. Of course, down the road, they can always send over their MyKW. Yes, I am going to go over adding your MLS ID to the white pages. Great question. That is a big part of it. So I'll get there in just a little bit. Short form setup again, so if your agent just wants to go ahead and get quickly set up, they can certainly do that here. Transferring KW agent, if they are transferring from one KW office to another, that's a great one for them to fill out. A newer questionnaire that we have is the expansion agent. So that is an agent who is active in more than one Market Center. And so if they're active in 2 Market Centers, that's the questionnaire they'll want to fill out, the expansion agent. We have capper questionnaires for all cappers and luxury agents to get your cappers set up as quickly as possible because, of course, we know they need their KW technology right away, so we expedite that for the capper questionnaire. We have a teams questionnaire for teams coming over to KW. You'll note that's for brand new teams to KW only. We have the admin questionnaire for any staff at your market center to be set up, or if you have admin on a team. Okay, we set up their KW email address is one of the big items for admin. And Placer questionnaire. So if you have existing agents that just need their Placer site set up, or if you as an office need your office Placer site set up, feel free to go ahead and fill out this questionnaire here, and we'll get your office Placer site set up and optimized as well. So that's a great tip to use. So from there, right, so if you'll hover back on KW resources and questionnaires from here, right, so hover over questionnaires, I'd just like to show you the questionnaire queue as well. So that's the next step of what you'll want to access. All right, so again, I got there by going over KW resources on the top white toolbar, questionnaires, and then questionnaire queue. Now, if you are wondering where your agent is in the setup process, this questionnaire queue, it was designed to help you find that. So in this first column here, we have all the agents that are in our queue to be set up today. An important column for you guys to look at is this missing login, so the center column here. So if you see your agent's name in this center column where it says missing logins for MyKW, that means we are not able to set up their MyKW account until we get their username and password. So if you do see your agent here, please feel free to email us at support@scottleroymarketing.com so we can help figure out that username and password as quickly as possible. And of course, you'll see a legend on the far right as well to let you know what all of this means. And as we're going through the process, the setup process here, now let's go over what we do to get your agents all set up. And also I'll go over the white pages in the MLS as well. I know we had a question on that. So if you'd like to just watch on my screen for this portion of it, I'm going to show you an example of a MyKW setup complete. And if you've been with us for a little bit, you've probably seen this as we BCC the staff. Okay, so you're always blind carbon copied as staff. And the agent receives this as well, unless you tell us differently. Now on here, we have all of their MyKW usernames and passwords and links to their websites and agent profile and mobile app, as you can see. It's a lot of information, of course. KW provides a whole lot of technology for your agents, which is great, but sometimes overwhelming for new agents. So a big thing that we added here is a video on the top to walk your agents through reading this email here. We also have links to videos to the right of each item. So for example, the KW email address, if they have no idea how to access that, we do give them videos on the right-hand side of how to get in and access each one of their KW tech tools on this setup sheet here. Going down this list, you will see additional instructions. A lot of times you'll see that we ask your agents for a headshot and a biography to add into their account. And they can send that over at any time. And if you scroll down to the bottom, and we'll go over the next steps in just a moment here, but if you go to the very bottom, you'll see that we also include their WolfNet site, so that eAgentC site, and their eEdge email address. That's going to be on the very bottom of the site because we try to discourage agents from using those and accidentally putting it on their business cards because, of course, this site is retiring the eAgentC site, so we don't want that added for them. So we do add that to the bottom if you ever need to find that. Now, a big question that we get from staff is why does it say, for example, you might see under the Placer website, it might say not yet available. Okay, in order to get the Placer website to launch in your agent's account, you would have to put their MLS ID in the white pages. And unfortunately, only an admin can do that. So you can only do that from an admin account, adding their MLS ID to the white pages. So it's not something that we are able to do for your agents. However, so what you'll receive, it might say not yet available under the Placer website. And we also send out a second email to you guys to let you know that Placer is not yet launched and they need the MLS ID in the white pages in order for that to launch. So you'll see that second email come through, and whenever you do put their MLS ID in the white pages, if you don't mind just emailing us and letting us know it's been added, we add your agent to our queue to go back into their account and get their Playster website all set up for them. So if you do have a checklist that you, for your onboarding of your agents, adding their MLS ID in the white pages is a huge one, because not only does it get the Playster website to launch, which is of course very important, but it also makes your agent's listings syndicate. So without the MLS ID in the white pages, your agent's listings will not syndicate out to all 150 plus real estate websites out there, like Zillow, Trulia, and so forth. So that is a big item that needs to be done, is putting the MLS ID in the white pages. If you have any questions on that, please let me know. We also have a video on how to add the MLS ID in the white pages, so if you're not quite sure how to do that, feel free to email support@scottleroymarketing.com. We'll shoot over a quick 10-minute video so you can see exactly how to add your agent's MLS ID to the white pages. All right. So after that whole spiel of the MLS ID in the white pages, let's talk about the next steps that we provide for agents on this My KW Setup Complete email. So again, as I mentioned, a lot of times agents receive all this great information about their KW technology and they think, now what? Great, I have all these logins. What do I do with them all? So in response to that question, we created these next steps on the kind of towards the bottom of all of the logins here. And I want to emphasize a couple on this list here. The first one being step 1, click here to access our 30-day challenge. So I'm going to go ahead and click there so you can see exactly what that looks like. So what we did is we created a 30-day challenge for your agents so that after they get all set up, they have a task each day to optimize their digital marketing further. So you'll see steps 1 through 30 right from that link here. We also have a printable version of the challenge as well that you can check off if anyone else likes to check off things on a checklist. I know I do. Okay, so we have a printable version as well, and that can also be accessed on our website like you're seeing here with links to access what we're referring to in each step. Right, so that is a great thing to guide your agents to keep them on task and moving forward and learning the KW technology. We tell them what order to watch certain classes, to send over their contacts, to really keep them on track and engaged for that matter. So that again was step 1 under next steps here. And step 2 here, you'll also notice that we have our training links here as well. So if any agents want to have further training on all of the KW technology, we do record all of our training classes and can be viewed on step 2 right here. To view our SLM webinar, just a heads up, if you have agents that are not particularly tech savvy or are brand new to KW and have never seen the technology, I would highly recommend sending them over to SLMwebinar.com, and I'm going to send that over in the chat so you guys have that. Let me send this over here so you guys have this. All right, SLMwebinar.com is a great place to direct all new agents, as it's a general overview of all the KW technology and how it ties together. Scott teaches that class in a 3-part 1 hour each class, so that's a slower paced class for any non-techie agents that you might have, and then we also have a 1 hour overview that's a little faster paced if you have agents that enjoy technology. So that can all be viewed on slmwebinar.com. So it's a great place to guide your new agents. Alright, so that is a general overview of the My KW Setup Complete email here. Of course, you can see all the different items that we set up for your agents, from their KW email address, websites, their mobile app, the new Kelly app, Dot Loop, Homekeeper, their agent profile. Okay, we also set up, of course, their entire eEdge account, their marketing material, contact database. So all of your KW technology from A to Z is set up with us, which is great. So I'm going to go ahead and take you back on over to our website. So that is scottleroymarketing.com. And I'm just going to show you a couple of the leadership resources that we created specifically for you all. So you can start taking advantage of it and leveraging it out to us instead of worrying about it yourself. So if you go ahead and hover on to KW Resources on that top white toolbar, and again, if I lost anyone, I am on scottleroymarketing.com, and I'm hovering over KW Resources on that white toolbar, on our white menu. And where we're going to go down to is this leadership support. So in this leadership support here, let's talk about a few of these items. So I'm going to go down this list and explain a little bit about what each item does so you can start implementing it into your market center if you would like to. The first one being this onboarding checklist template here. So this is actually a very new feature on our site, this onboarding checklist template. So if, let's say your market center is still working on your processes and you don't quite have checklists for each of your staff members, we created a general template for you to kind of give you a layout of what your checklist could look like. And let me show you where I got there again, just in case I lost anyone that wants to follow along. So I'm on KW Resources on the top white toolbar, Leadership Support, just hover over that, and go ahead and click on Onboarding Checklist Template. All right, so I'm going to make this a little bigger so you can see it. So from here, it gives you, we try to create a checklist, and this is customizable, so you can make it for your market center specifically, but all the items that would need to be done during onboarding outside of the tech side that we do, and we try to give that to each role, like your MCA, ASC, okay, front desk, DFI, all right? So we tried to give you a bunch of different items that would need to be done, so if you don't have a checklist for onboarding your agents, this is a great template to start with, and again, it is customizable. So it's a pretty great tool to start using from our site if you want to check that out. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and continue on down that list there. So I'm back on scottleroymarketing.com, hovering over KW Resources, Leadership Support, and we of course got there from that first option. But going down this list, we do have this 30-day launch right here, which is similar to the 30-day challenge that I showed you for agents. Okay, this 30-day launch is for market centers to help implement our services into your market center and try and get your agents to start utilizing our services. So this 30-day launch gives you an idea of what to do each day, one task, to help get the word out about Scott Leroy Marketing and our services so they can start being used. So feel free to check that out. KW Leadership Support. This is a cool one. So I'm going to go ahead and click on KW Leadership Support. And if you scroll on down, you'll see a whole list of different items that we're happy to do for you guys. And that goes from different things like importing your database. So if you want us to, if you have an Excel spreadsheet of your recruits, feel free to email that over and we can absolutely put that into your Office database for you. List Hub Exceptions Report, that's another big one. So if you're not familiar with what that is, right, the List Hub Exceptions Report is a report generated from the MCA's MyKW account, and it shows you all of your agents' listings, and if any are getting blocked, if any are not syndicating out to Zillow and Trulia and all those 150 other sites. This List Hub Exceptions Report will show you which listings aren't syndicating and why that's happening so that can be fixed up. So if you'd like us to do that for you, you can just click on this link right here, fill out the short form that displays, and we can get that going for you. And you'll also see different items for Office Placer website setup, the recruiting website setup, and so forth. So this is a great page to check out. Of course, email campaign setup, that's a big one that we do for market centers as well. Excuse me, recruiting or retention campaigns. It's a big one people take advantage of. All right, and we accessed all of that from KW Resources, Leadership Support, and then KW Leadership Support from that flyout menu there. All right, just a couple more items here, and I'll let you go enjoy your Friday. Leadership cheat sheet here. So we did create step-by-step written out instructions for every single thing that you would need to know as a leadership. Instructions on how to do everything from getting passwords sent over to us to adding your MLS ID to the white pages for your agents. Okay, Okay, we wrote out step-by-step instructions on how to do all of that from this leadership cheat sheet. Okay, so you'll be able to view that. So if you're not a fan of video training, no worries. We did create step-by-step instructions with a table of contents so you can find what you're looking for right away. All right, so back to KW resources up here and leadership support from that drop-down. Okay, that was the leadership cheat sheet that we just went over. We do have an offboarding service as well, so if you have agents that are leaving KW, you can come in here and fill out this offboarding form that we'll display, and we can go through and get all of your agents' profiles turned off, their websites turned off, we turn off their drip campaigns, export their contacts, and so forth. So that is the offboarding questionnaire there. Just a heads up, we would need to do that before you remove the agent from Winmore. We also have office marketing flyers here. So if you want to start hanging around our training calendar or different flyers that we have created about our services to promote that to your agents, we provide all of those right here. And as you've quickly learned from this class, we provide a whole bunch of services, and it's hard to remember all the services that we do provide. So if you ever want to check on that and see a written list of all of our services, this SLM overview right there will take you through all the items that we do for agents, and we go into detail everything that we can help out with. So feel free to check that out if you ever forget the services that we provide. And last but not least on this list, this is a cool one, I think you'll like this one, is track your office. So let's go ahead and click there. So track your office. Okay, so why we created this is we get the question a lot of, did my agent John Smith fill out the questionnaire? This tracker right here will show you all of the forms that were submitted on our website. So any questionnaires or any support forms that were filled out, it shows you exactly the agent's name and the date that was submitted. So if you're ever unsure if your agent actually went through and submitted the questionnaire, this is where you would check. And of course, you can search by the agent name here, so you can find that as quick as possible. Now, I know training tracking has become a big thing in market centers and with KWRI, so we did create this training tracking here so you can view which agents are coming to our online trainings as well. So you can check that out by clicking here. All right, and the last thing that we're going to go over in today's class is our templates for leadership. So if you come up to KW Resources on that white toolbar just one last time, and let's select Templates from that dropdown. So KW Resources, and then we're selecting the last option for Templates. So this is a newer feature that we have rolled out, and I'm going to say the past 6 months or so, maybe a little longer now. But we have rolled out templates that your agents and leadership can take advantage of. Now, as I'm scrolling down, you will see a video on the top of your page that will walk you through how to utilize our templates right away. But as I scroll down, I want to point out a couple that you can take advantage of as leadership for your office to help with retention, help your agents feel included and recognized. So different things like first closing flyer, with birthday and anniversary flyers to announce those, award certificates, bold flyers. Okay, your agents can also order business cards from here. We've teamed up with Brandco to provide business cards for your agents, just a heads up on that. But you'll see a whole bunch of different items like career night, flyers. Okay, these are all templates that you can absolutely browse through and start using right away. Now I'm just going to show you the two main things that you would need to know in order to utilize our templates. All right, and the first thing, so let's say I'm going to go ahead and click anniversary flyers here. If you'd like to follow along, feel free. I'm going to select anniversary flyers. And then it will take you to this little folder here where I can double click on that. To view our different anniversary flyer options here. Now the two main things that you need to know in order to utilize our templates right away is, first of all, this is on Google Drive. So these templates utilize Google Slides. So with that being said, you have to be logged into a Google account to utilize and start editing our templates. Now your kw.com email address is a Google account, so that's why we created it this way. So you basically just need to know that you need to be logged in to your Google account, your kw.com email address, in order to edit our templates. And I can tell that I am logged in to my Gmail account, my KW Gmail, because on the top right I can see my headshot right here. Okay, if I was not logged into a Google account, it would say sign in on the top right. Okay, so that's one big thing. If you're taking notes, that's the big noteworthy item for utilizing our templates is, one, make sure you're logged into a Google account. And the final thing that you need to know, I need to go ahead and double click on one of these templates to make it bigger so I can show you that. So if you're following along, feel free to select any of these templates. You can just double click on it to make that bigger on your screen. So the second big item that you need to know when utilizing our templates is, once you double click it and look at it, great, I decided I want to use this template. Right, you cannot just start editing it right from here. What you need to know is you have to come up to File on this top menu. So under the template name, you'll see it says File on the top left there. And you'll need to click Make a Copy from that drop down. Right, so again, File on the top left of your screen under the template name specifically. And let's click Make a Copy. All right, it's letting you know what's happening as it's copying this template into your Google Drive. So it's showing that it's copying the document. And I can leave the name here. Of course, you can change that. And I can click OK. When I do that, it'll open up a new tab on the top of my browser. And you'll see one says Copy Of. Okay, and the one that says Copy Of, that's the one that you'll want to be on, which will allow you to edit it right away. So I can then put in the agent's name right here and click to type in the years as well. Okay, so it's completely customizable as long as you click to make a copy. All right, so those are the big two items on utilizing our flyers, the two big things that you'll need to know. There is a video on the top of the templates page that will walk you through it from the beginning to end if you want to check that out. Of course, if you have any questions at all as you're going through all of this KW or all of our Scott Leroy marketing services, feel free to let us know. Don't hesitate. We're happy to help you figure out the best way to integrate our services into the processes that your market center might already have going. All right, guys, I hope you have a great Friday and enjoy your weekend, and let us know how we can best help you further. Have a good one, guys.